Welcome to Econ Nerds live podcast for Econ Nerds by Econ Nerds. If you're not an Econ Nerd, well, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy it as well. I'm your host, Matt Hill. With me, Ariel, Slonim. Ariel, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Matt, I noticed there's a nice little cork board with some string on it behind you. Are we getting a little sneak peek of an upcoming video?
No, I've gone down the rabbit hole. I'm trying to unravel a conspiracy theory. For listeners of the pod, I have a cork board with the just a bunch of stuff and wires going or yarn going everywhere. Anyways, no, I was recording an Econ Nerds video all morning, and it was very hard to record because I was building a cork board with all this stuff on it in the video. So, anyways, I'm ready to just relax and talk econ basically. But yeah, viewers, see if you can guess what the video is about based on the corkboard. Anyways, just for fun, I thought we'd start today with the news quiz. Ariel, do you have a news quiz for us?
I have it ready for you. Okay. So we're going to start with Mondo Duplantis. For the 12th time, Mondo Duplantis has broken the world record in pole vaulting, increasing his height jumped by 1 centimeter each time he attempts to break the world record. How much prize money does he win each time he breaks the world record, Matt? Okay, are you ready for your options, or do you want to just straight up guess?
No, go ahead. Give me my options.
Okay. 100,000, 200,000, or it varies by competition location. This is specifically for breaking the world record. So
he's a pole vaulter, and every time he breaks the world record, he gets a bonus.
He gets a prize. So he's broken the world record 12 times.
Yeah, I'm glad you gave me the options, because I would have guessed like 1,000 or 5,000. Like I didn't know that pole vaulting was so prized that. Okay. So I'm going to go with 100,000 because that's the lowest number, right? Like.
It is the lowest number, and it is correct. It is 100,000. I thought if I put it at the end, you'd be like, oh, obviously he's doing this for a large prize. So I was trying to make it look smaller, actually.
Ariel, what's going on in your life that 100,000 is not a large prize? 100,000 is a large prize to me.
I am making it look small relative to the $200,000 option C.
Shout out to the anchoring effect. We had a recent Econ Nerds video on the anchoring effect.
Okay. So this next one only has numbers in the question, but not in the answer.
Wait, hold on a second. This guy's a legend, though. This guy's an econ legend. I mean, because he's following the incentives. He just keeps breaking it by a centimeter, right? That's his plan.
That's his plan. So I first learned about him last year watching the Summer Olympics. So he also broke the world record at the Summer Olympics. And when he broke the world record at the Summer Olympics, there's a really great photo of him where he has significant clearance over the bar when he's breaking the world record in pole vaulting. And so what everybody looked at with this picture, where you could see he has a lot of extra clearance, why didn't he go for a higher level?
Incentives.
So each pole vaulter gets to set their height. He could have broken it very clearly last year. He had a lot of extra room. And so everybody's like, why doesn't he? And so it turns out that he doesn't, because every time he breaks the world record, he gets $100,000. So if he breaks it by 1 centimeter and does that 6 times in a year, he gets $600,000. He's done that about 2 years in a row. So he's got $1.2 million from breaking world records. And if he'd broken it all last year, there would be no extra prize money. So he would only have gotten one $100,000 prize. It is not tied to how high you jump.
Yeah. So at a minimum, he's making $1.1 million more. All right. Good. I didn't know pole vaulting was so lucrative. I should have. Well, actually, I would have been terrible at it. I don't know. There's no world where I'm a good pole vaulter.
You have to be both a really good sprinter and have incredible upper body strength to invert yourself. I would have made an absolutely terrible pole vaulter. I did shot put in college, so I am not built like a pole vaulter.
All right. What's my next question?
Okay. We're switching gears here. So we're switching to tariffs. I think we have 2 questions on tariffs. So 97%, this is a recent data Reuters released analyzed Apple's export data, 97% of the iPhones produced at the Foxconn India location, so not in China, but in India, went to the US this year. So 97% of them in 5 months. This is Apple's way of avoiding paying the significantly higher tariffs on Chinese goods. Previously, only 50% of these iPhones were going to the US. So the question is, where were the iPhones going before they all got redirected to the US? Okay, so I'm going to give you some geographical options. Okay, so previously, where were these phones going? Japan, Taiwan, and Southeast Asia. That's A. B is the Netherlands, the Czech Republic, and Britain. C is Russia. And D is South America.
Well, I would assume, that the price of the iPhone varies around the world. So I assume they're going to take it from the low price. What they take? Yeah, so they would take it from the low price area, probably move it to the US. So I'm going to go with South America.
Wrong. It is actually B, the Netherlands, the Czech Republic, and Britain. And I don't know why it was specifically those three. There was some sort of route that they had established to take the phones.
So it's more a shipping thing rather than...
It's a shipping thing. So I think it's this connection between India and Britain that was really driving the traffic. But now they're getting phones from China because their tariffs... It's more a tariff rerouting than anything else.
Oh, okay. So they're just rearranging it so that to pay the lowest price.
They're just rearranging it. So now the China phones are going to places that used to get the India phones, and the US is getting the India phones. So they're just shuffling around production.
Okay.
Okay, another tariff question, and then we're going to be done with tariffs. We're going to move to other questions. Trump announced plans to increase tariffs on household appliances made out of steel and aluminum, including washing machines, refrigerators, dishwashers, and cooking stoves. This is part two. So in his previous term, he increased the tariff on washing machines, but not on dryers. So a study looked at that previous tariff and estimated that the tariff did create an estimated 1,800 new jobs in the US, but at a high cost. What was the estimated cost of saving one job from Trump's first term washing machine tariff? You ready for your options?
I'm ready. I have a number in my head, but I'm ready.
Oh, I want to hear your baseline number before
800,000 is my number in my head, but we'll see what the options are.
Okay, so your options are 700,000, 800,000, 900,000, or $1 million.
Got to go with 800,000.
Matt, you must have been familiar with the study because the correct answer is 800,000.
Yeah, no,
$817,000.
I remember seeing some study that basically the jobs cost $800,000, whatever. Each job say was 800,000. Yeah. So I remember that from 4 years ago, whatever the paper came out.
Okay. Well, you have a good memory for econ statistics. So congratulations on being an econ nerd.
Thank you. I know that, but not my wife's birthday. Just kidding. I know my wife's birthday, I think.
Okay. Now we've got two questions about New York City because there's a candidate for mayor, Matt, who has been making me very concerned as an economist. Okay, so
and resident, and resident. We should say you're a resident of New York City.
I'm a resident of New York City. I'm very concerned. He's doing well in the polls. He's polling second, behind Andrew Cuomo, the former New York City governor. So Mamdani is a self-described socialist and a candidate for New York City mayor. And among his other policies, he's campaigned on providing a network of free buses in New York City. How much is his free bus system projected to cost?
1,000. No, I don't know. Give me the options.
460 million, 580 million, or $630 million.
Jeez, these are all numbers are way higher than I thought. I'll go with the 600 one. What was the 600 one?
$630 million. So correct. You're right about this. So yeah. I found about this through The Gothamist, which I think is great a news outlet for New York news. And they published a critique of the policy.
Wow.
Which of the following were they concerned about? So these were primarily public advocates' concerns for instituting a free bus policy. you might think would be aligned with promoting transit, but these transit advocates have concerns.
Okay.
Are they concerned about A, the decreased revenue from paying transit customers, B, the increased street traffic from running more buses, C, overcrowding on buses, or D, slower boarding times? You may select all that apply.
What was B?
Increased street traffic.
I'm gonna go with increased street traffic.
Okay. You are partially correct. They are
It's all of
concerned
them?
about A, B, and C. They are concerned
Wow.
about decreased revenue, so you don't have as much money to repair the subway or, pay bus operators. They're concerned about the extra street traffic from the buses compared to subway lines. They're concerned about overcrowding on free buses because there's not going to be a motivation to get off.
So the concern is everyone's going to take the bus instead of the subway.
The concern is that people will switch to the free good.
The free bus.
Bus.
But Ariel, according to the news, the subway's free. You just hop the turnstile. Isn't the subway already free in New York?
Functionally, yes. So I'm not sure why we need to pay for a free bus system when we have a much more efficient free subway system.
Oh, man. Okay. So you may have free buses, though, soon. We
may have free buses in addition to having a free subway system. There's an estimate.
Only cost the city so they're not free. They only cost the city $660. Would you say $1 million?
$630 million to run.
That's
extra free buses.
That's like 60 world pole vaulting records. Hey, what's the mayor's name? What's the mayor who wants to do this?
Mamdani.
Hey, Mamdani, get that pole out, get a contract with Nike, make some money for the free buses.
He needs to get a Nike endorsement and start pole vaulting. Although I have another, I have a surprise question at the end for you.
Okay.
It's not officially on the quiz.
All right. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
So
breaking news.
K-pop sensation band BTS is back together. They've all served their required military service times. Economists in South Korea are excited because they estimate that the band contributed $4.65 billion to South Korea's economy. How many band members are there in BTS, Matt?
Okay, so BTS, K-pop band, super super popular. I know because they have a Lego set. How many members are in BTS? How many members? I'm gonna go six members of BTS.
You're very close. There are 7.
Oh, I knew it was more because the traditional boy band is 5 back from my youth. I knew there were more, but they got 7. Okay, all right.
They got 7. Okay. So I'll ask my surprise question now.
Hey, New York, get yourself a boy band. That's another way to make money. We're learning all sorts of stuff in this quiz.
Boy band. Oh, and here's your other way to make money.
I was in a boy band when I lived in Japan, Ariel. Maybe I'll tell that story some other time. But yeah, I lived in a small town and I was in the local boy band. We had a few performances, town fair and whatnot. But go ahead.
Okay, so Meta is trying to poach open AI talent. What was the signing bonus offer?
Oh, I saw this one.
Poach?
It's $100 million.
It's $100 million. So you need to poach
1/6 of a free bus system
to run the free bus system. Okay, last question.
Last question. All right.
Workers at the Louvre went on strike this week. Surprise strike, not announced, just left everybody standing in line.
Okay.
They complain that the Louvre is overcrowded and the building is deteriorating. So they don't have enough bathrooms. They complain that some of the art is not well protected. In your opinion, Matt, should the Louvre raise prices to solve their overcrowding problem?
Okay, so the workers are complaining about the bathroom situation.
The workers are complaining that it's too crowded. There's too many people. They can't, I think there are messes in the bathrooms because there are too many people and they can't get in to, take care of them. And
right. So, as an economist, demand curves slope downward. So if you want less people to go to the Louvre, you could raise the price, and that would cause some people to go away. But I'm guessing that's not where we're going. I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of twist to this, Ariel.
No, there's no twist here. This is my own question. This is not the question of, I don't know if the Louvre is considering this, but I would argue that maybe they should.
They'll raise prices, they'll get less people, and they could pay the workers more. Seems like we have a good solution. So,
and they could pay for building repairs if they actually need to do them. So
have you been to the Louvre, Ariel?
I have been to the Louvre and I loved it, but my least favorite part was seeing the Mona Lisa. It is a miserable experience. It's way too crowded. I know that they've moved her now, or like since I went to the Louvre, but it's a miserable experience trying to crowd and see a very small painting. So I actually enjoyed other areas of the Louvre significantly more.
And the Mona Lisa is supposed to be small, right? Isn't that
It's very small.
It's the other beef that people have with it, is that it's tiny. There's a great Lonely Island song about how the Mona Lisa sucks. Have you heard that song? I encourage listeners to go Google Lonely Island and Mona Lisa. It's one of my favorites.
I think they should create a stand just for her, somewhere where you don't even get to go in the rest of the museum. I know they've relocated her and they're enforcing timed entry tickets, but I think they should just have a separate area where you go see her, you pay an extraordinary amount, and then the entire rest of the museum,
open for the other people, the people that want to see.
Open and free and not overly crowded.
Okay. Hey, perfect. That's a perfect segue to our next segment on AI and art. We're going to have a little segment called AI Corner. Just because, I don't know. I find it funny. There's all these people are worried, all these various, hot button issues of the day. And it's like looming over everything is AI, which is like advancing so rapidly. And is going to change, in my opinion, so many things. And I bet people talk about it, but I don't feel like we talk about it enough in the context. So this will be AI Corner. This was prompted by a conversation on Conversations with Tyler, between Tyler Cowen and Annie Austin. Do you know Annie Austin? Have you ever heard of Annie Austin before, Ariel?
I have not. Should I be embarrassed that that's the case?
No, it's a video game YouTuber. So unless you're like heavy in the video game YouTubes, I don't think you've heard. I mean, he was a very popular YouTuber. I went and watched some of his videos after his conversation because I found it fascinating. And there's a couple different issues. They didn't necessarily touch on this, but separately, I think we've seen the first. So Google released VO3, which does the video, the AI video, and I think for the first time, people have been actually making like stuff like AI video that other people are watching. So let me play for you. Let me share my screen. Let me play for you. This was made in VO3, and also our listeners will be able to see it. But our viewers will be able to see it, but our listeners won't be able to see it. So. Okay, this is Moses live streaming, meeting the Pharaoh. Okay, so I'm going to play this.
Aaron just got inside the palace. We're about to ask Pharaoh to let our people go. No idea how this is going to go, but wish us luck. Okay, we just left the meeting. We asked, he laughed, said no one's going anywhere. Anyway, the fight goes on.
Pharaoh, if you're watching this, this is your last chance. Let the people go, or it's gonna rain, hail, frogs, whatever.
Hashtag let my people go.
He let us go, then changed his mind. Now he's sending soldiers. We're literally running to the sea right now. We just got here, sea in front, army behind, no way out. Everyone's freaking out. Let's see what God tells us to do. Guys, the sea literally opened up. I'll explain later. We're walking through now. And no, this path isn't on Google Maps.
Didn't film the parting, was busy holding the staff.
Okay. All right. Ariel, what'd you think of Moses live streaming, escaping from Egypt?
Well, I mean, I think it's an interesting visual. I think they did a good job making it sound like a live streamer with their phrases.
Well, they didn't make it. VO made it.
I mean, clearly they know what live streamers sound like. We live to fight another day. We are, I think it's an interesting interpretation. I don't know how much of it I want to watch, right? Like,
oh, really? I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was super funny. Well, then there's another one that was like stormtroopers vlogs that people have been making that people have been watching. So you seem unimpressed. So what do you think is going to happen to creative jobs? Because I've heard a lot of doom and gloom, like there's going to be no creative jobs left. Like AI is going to take all these creative jobs.
Like everybody's just going to create their own movies this way, and there's not going to be a film industry.
This is. I think there's a world, I guess, where if the film industry is already facing all these difficulties because they have competition from foreign, different countries that are now producing more and more high quality stuff, like the aforementioned Korea. Competition from TikTok. I mean, that's competition just from like individual creators. The kids just watch TikTok, or they just watch the short videos. And so I guess, they'll get competition from now people creating AI video. And so, people, I guess, stop watching Hollywood stuff. But, to me, it's like, I think there're going to be more creators in the future because, you think if we're counting, people who are making TikToks or YouTube as, a creative job, there's going to be more people making that stuff. Someone has to feed in the prompts to VO, and it's like takes like work to figure out the right prompt to get the right video, or to come up with the right concept.
The storytelling and the framing is going to become like the prized skill, right?
Yeah.
If it's easier to make the visuals, then it's going to be more, how do you structure it? How do you tell the most engaging, best story?
Yeah. And so I looked this up. I looked up, okay, do we have more people working in creative jobs now than in the past? And the answer is yes. So it's like the number of people working in creative jobs, like musicians, authors, writers, I don't know, whatever, artists, those numbers have all gone up. And I just see that, I see it continuing to go up. So I actually put up on Manifold where you can do these like predictions. So I'm predicting more creative jobs in 2027. You want to bet against me, you can bet against me. What do you think, though? Do you think I'm right, or do you think we're going to have some sort of job destruction?
I think there will be certain types of jobs that will be destroyed, but overall, I think you're right that there will be more creative jobs on the whole.
So
I think
what creative jobs do you think will be destroyed?
I mean, I don't know how many people are illustrators of particular things, right? Like how many people are going to be hired specifically as illustrators when it can be easily done like video style, like without their help.
Yeah.
So maybe that's going to be something that goes away.
Yeah. So probably illustrators, animators, like special effects. I could definitely see those jobs.
And I think there will be some people working those jobs where it's very, very clear they have the highest production quality. But I think overall, more people will switch to the cheaper, easier to use tool.
Yeah. Anyways.
But then you get more storytellers and more, like, there's going to be more TikTok channels and more, outlets.
Yeah.
At some point in time, though, how do you sort through the sea of stuff to find what you want to watch?
Yeah, so that's the other concern is there's there's a lot of like whatever AI generated video, AI slop. Actually, let me play you the next one. So this was like, I think this was the most popular video on YouTube like last month. I forget the time frame, but here, let me play it for you. And for listeners, I'll describe what's going on. Yeah. All right. So there's a bunch of kids next to a cliff. There's like a dog trying to warn the parents, like, hey, your kids are next to this cliff. And the parents are like, get away, dog. And then the dog's all sad. Kids are still next to the cliff. Oh, the kids go off the cliff. Oh, the parents are screaming. Kids go down off the cliff, land in the water. Parents are crying. Dog goes down, jumps in the water, and rescues the kid. And now the video is telling me to like and subscribe to the video. So that's like the standard, I guess, what people call AI slop. And I was reading about this, and it referenced this video, and I was like, let me watch this video. Well, what did you think of the video, Ariel?
It's horrifying. One, like it as a parent, as a mom, it makes me really anxious to see those kids, like right on the edge of the cliff. So I get why people are like, they want to watch and make sure they're okay. Like it taps into some sort of like instinct that you have to be like, keep them safe. But overall, the video quality is terrible, right? Like the dog changes proportion a couple different times. The parents are smaller than the kids. They like switch these angles. Like it doesn't keep any sort of real, perspective, but also, like you can just like, it's a low quality animation.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly AI. I found it strangely compelling though. Like I understood why it was like the most watched video because I'm like watching. I'm like, oh, I'm strangely compelled by it. Does it bother you that this is like super popular? I guess because for me, I'm like, so people watch this. I mean, people watch stupid stuff. When I was a kid, people would watch like America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, I don't see a category difference between watching this dumb AI video versus watching, I don't know, some other dumb video.
On a one-off basis, like I don't either. I do think I've heard, and now I'm not going to know where this citation was, that people's attention spans are getting shorter. Like if we can only watch these short videos and we're only feeding our minds with things that are like short, kind of dumb quality videos, where does that leave us as a society, as a whole, for that to be the main primary thing that we consume?
Yeah, so you see it. I mean, I see it with the kids where they're just like, just like crack on their phones, just video after video. Yeah, so I think that's like a different problem, like sort of outside of AI. I guess you could make the argument that AI could be so good at creating like addictive videos that this will just ramp up this problem. I feel like, when the printing press was invented, like we had like 100 years of war before we sort of figured out how to deal with whatever books and pamphlets. And I wonder if we're just sort of in that period where we need to develop the norms of how to handle our addictions to the phone. And we need to develop these norms where it's like, you're not on your phone in front of other people, or you only use your phone during these hours or something, sort of how we developed norms about cigarettes, where it was like all of a sudden low class to be addicted to cigarettes. I wonder if in 10 years, there'll be different norms about phone use. I sort of hope so, since people are, whatever, seems like all this stuff's like, not good for people. But I don't know. At the same time, I'm not super concerned about what people are watching, I guess. Like it's like, okay, whether it's AI or someone else, it doesn't bother me that much, because I feel like I have access to like high quality stuff. Like I can watch like really good TV shows with my wife. I can read really interesting Substacks. I can listen to like fascinating podcasts. So it's like people are worried about, everything's going to be AI slop. Everyone's going to be AI slop. And I'm always like, you're going to the wrong spot. You're going to the wrong places. Like, it's a skill issue. You got to find better information sources. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think that's the gap, is how do you find them and how much time do you spend finding them? Or is there a better way to curate, what it is you want to see?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if there'll be, sort of, this probably won't happen, but if there's a return to like trusted institutions where it's like, okay, this is the source for, real videos or from real people, or this is the source of like real analysis from, whatever, honest brokers. I don't know. But it is, to me, it's like the problem of people's attention spans, or the problem of people being addicted to their phones, is almost separate from AI. Also in the AI conversation, when it comes to AI art or art in general, what I found interesting in the Tyler Cowen, Annie Austin conversation was the role of history, or the role of the people making the art. Because Annie Austin took the position that it didn't matter, that if you put a great work of art in front of anybody, that they would recognize it as a great work of art. Where Tyler Cowen was like, no, the history matters. Like it matters that, the Mona Lisa, people go see the Mona Lisa because of the history, because they know whatever, it's famous, they know Da Vinci. I'm much more on the Cowen side. Like when I'm watching something with my son, I give him the backstory. Oh, this actor was in this. This was created like this. This is we're watching Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the real story of pirates. See, Blackbeard. Here's a real pirate. Or when you're watching sports, like you got to give the context of why this game matters. Oh, see, this person, they lost a bunch and now they're here. And so for me, it's like the reason why human made or human connecting art's always going to matter is because when it comes to music, like sports as well, we connect with the human level. We want to know about Taylor Swift. We want to know, where are these songs coming from? What do you think? Like, does history matter? Like, could we put the Mona Lisa in front of, I don't know, somebody who had no context for it, and they'd be like, yeah, that's awesome.
I don't think we'd be, I think the Mona Lisa is overrated. So I think, you would be less likely to get the shock and awe, oh yeah, I'd line up for hours and hours to see this one painting reaction. And so I think there is something that we connect meaning to the paintings and what they're trying to say and communicate and understand, right? Like, oh, they're trying to communicate specific ideas or something. At the same time, I wonder, when I lived in DC, I loved going to see the Rembrandt paintings at the National Gallery. So those were my favorite. And I probably am biased, but I think if I just put that in front of somebody who had never seen them, these portraits, that you could tell that they were a master. Like, this was not just any average piece of art.
I mean, that would say that AI could potentially replace it, or could, because if it can create something that is super appealing, then people are not going to necessarily matter. I don't know. I still feel like we care about, well, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We do care about how it's connected to other things, right? Like,
yeah, like we care about the context. I think maybe a good movie, a good story would not matter as much, but I feel like with art, with music, like we really care about the people involved. I mean, you see people trying to get autographs or trying to find out every detail of the personal life, or trying to figure out, what did the author mean? Like, what was the point of this novel or whatever? So I don't know. Anyways, I guess maybe I'm being overly positive, where I'm like, people are still going to be able to find high quality information. We're still going to want, whatever music created by other humans, because we want to find out what caused them to write it. And what's funny is also in the Annie Austin conversation is, and it's either count, they pointed out that a lot of times, if you look at famous works of art, the reason that it was made was just for money. Like the artist was just hard up for cash, which isn't the best story. All right, let's move on to another new segment. This segment is called Life Advice, where I find life advice question. I think this one comes from New York Magazine. And I find life advice questions from other sources. No, but we don't have the audience we don't have the big enough audience, Ariel, to have people actually writing to us for life advice. But if you want life advice, please reach out. We're happy to use economics to answer your question. Okay. So this question from New York Magazine: my wife and I just had a baby girl. A college friend of ours sent us $175 in Bitcoin as a baby gift. He's a crypto bro and super into it, while I, on the other hand, am extremely skeptical. My friend said that I can't sell it until her bat mitzvah, when it will be at least $1,000, according to the friend. I believe there's a decent likelihood that the Bitcoin is worth $0 in 12 years. Since I'm the steward of my baby's money until she turns 18, do I have the responsibility to sell the Bitcoin now, since I think it'll be worth nothing? Or do I have a responsibility to honor my friend's wishes and keep the money in Bitcoin until she turns 12? What would you tell this gentleman who's wondering about the Bitcoin, his daughter's Bitcoin?
Well, I'd ask him how badly he wants $175 now, and how much he values his friendship with, this college friend. Because I think if he doesn't necessarily immediately need the money to pay for something for the daughter, right? Like, it should go to her in some way. Then,
yeah, I mean, I presumably the friend would sell it for $175 and put the $175 in, I don't know, treasuries or something, and then
right in something. So then the question is, like, is he willing to take the risk? Is she, going to be really hard up for college money if they don't invest it in some 529 plan? I'd say, like, let it go. Just wait and see the bet. Like, it's not your, like, you don't have to worry about the money. Like, if it goes south, like, you're out nothing. But I think there's this endowment effect where once we have it, like, we feel like this over sense of protection, like that we really want to protect something.
So the endowment effect is like, once you have something, you value it higher. But this guy values it lower. He hates Bitcoin, so he's like, he gets the Bitcoin. He clearly hates Bitcoin or hates crypto, and he's like, I want to get rid of this.
But he now values that $175 that he didn't have.
So he's saying that more. Okay, and he's worried it's going to go to zero.
Right. Then if he never had that $175 to begin with and was exactly the same as he is now.
I think the big concern for this guy is, okay, what if Bitcoin goes even further to the moon, and the 175 is worth, I don't know, 10 grand, 20 grand in 12 years, 30 grand. The friend's going to be like, hey, I hooked up your daughter, and he's he's gonna have to be like, no, I didn't. And then you're gonna feel bad because you lost 20 or 30 grand. This is loss aversion. So we know that human beings feel loss harder than they feel gains. So if you lose $20, that impacts you more than if you win $20. So I would tell this guy to hold onto it, just because even if he thinks it's a small chance, if the thing goes to the moon, he's going to feel that much, much worse than if, whatever, he gains the 175 and it goes to zero. So I would tell him to hold on to it just for the loss aversion, because that worst case scenario is so bad. How much Bitcoin do your children have, Ariel?
$0. $0 in Bitcoin.
All right. Well,
and
that
you also
person
have to keep the key, right? Like you have to keep the
cold wallets. I don't know what the weight loss. What's giving us surplus this week? What's giving us dead weight loss this week? Ariel, do you have anything?
I've been trying to decide whether my presence in our local Buy Nothing group has been a consumer surplus or a dead weight loss for me this week. So this might be a life advice column.
Okay.
But I value knowing that the stuff that I'm getting rid of goes to somebody who can use it rather than it just becoming trash in a landfill. But the time it takes to coordinate all the pickups and give it away is really kind of...
So wait. Tell us what Buy Nothing is, just so
okay, so Buy Nothing is a Facebook group, and the rules are that you can't buy or sell anything on the group. You have to live within the geographic area, the neighborhood. So I'm on the very edge of the neighborhood, which has actually changed my calculation. I used to live in our old apartment in the very center of the Buy Nothing geographic drop zone. So I live on the very edge. And, the rules are you have to post it. You have to simmer it for at least 8 hours so that plenty of people have time to claim it. You're supposed to pick a random person or maybe somebody. Be clear in how you're choosing somebody and then gift it. Right. And so I've been passing along all the clothes my 5-year-old has outgrown very rapidly all of a sudden, and some snack bars that they won't eat, and like various other books my husband has decided to not read anymore to make room for new books coming in on the shelf because they were stacking up in front of our bookshelf. So I value having the space, and I feel very guilty throwing those things in the trash because they're perfectly fine. We just don't value them anymore. But the time to remember to post, to take the photos, to coordinate with somebody, to come pick it up. And it's not the same person for every good because you have to do it all. And I'm beginning to wonder if it's a dead weight loss rather than a surplus.
You're saying there's opportunity costs where it's like the value of your time. You have to give all this time. You're basically paying in time to get rid of stuff.
I'm paying in time to get rid of stuff.
When you could just throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess your options with stuff you want to get. I'm the same way. I hate having a cluttered house. I love to give away stuff, which is a problem because my in-laws live with me and they're refugees. And so they don't want to give away anything. And my father-in-law once fished out a 2-liter bottle from the trash that I had thrown away. Cause he was like, I could use this as an ice pack. I could fill this with water and then freeze it. This is a great ice pack. Why would you throw away a 2-liter bottle? So I have a whole process from which I throw away stuff. I put it in the garage. And then if nobody notices after a month or two, then I move it from the garage to the trash when no one's looking. So yeah, I don't mind throwing away things. What I'll usually do, so I guess your options are throw away in the trash, and then you're like, okay, that's bad because of landfill space. Although, Ariel, I believe the U.S. has landfill space for the next 400 years. Someone fact check me, but I think we have significant runway on the landfill space.
That might be true of the whole U.S. The cost of trash, and New York, ships its trash out to I forget where, to burn it.
New Jersey, right? Isn't New Jersey?
Yeah,
I thought New Jersey is just
so
all.
It either burns in New Jersey or there's a landfill on Staten Island, and I don't think that we're doing very well on our trash room as a city compared to possibly other places in the U.S.
So you can throw it away. You could do the Buy Nothing. The Buy Nothing probably feels best because presumably it's going to somebody who wants it. What I will often do is I guess you can't do this as I live in a suburban area. I just put it on the street, and then usually someone comes and gets it. So usually if it's something of some value, someone will just come and grab it. But I guess you don't have that option, Ariel.
No, if I lived in a brownstone, people do that on their steps. But I live in a high-rise building. So I do that for some things. Like I did that with a nightstand we were getting rid of, and I just put it in the lobby. But the food and the miscellaneous kid clothes, like they really need a different way to be exit our environment.
Or someone needs to innovate on the buy nothing. This feels like a market problem. It feels like a market maker problem where somehow you could put what you're looking for, what you're selling, and then it automatically matches. I don't know. It feels like
I think the problem is that buy nothing relies on free labor to moderate, to make sure that everybody's agreeing to the group rules. And so this particular group is massive. It's like 2,000 members, and it's a very big area. So because I live at the very edge of the area, sometimes it's 1 or 2 miles. It's like not an easy bus route to go get to the other side to get a free good. So I don't let myself, claim free goods on the other side of the neighborhood. But I think it should be divided so that it's really easy to get rid of things because everybody is within 3 blocks of your apartment. When you have the density that is.
Yeah, you have the density, you could do it. I don't know. It's an interesting question. So I would probably just throw it away, but then tell people that I did it the buy nothing, probably. So for the social credit.
So I'll feel guilty for throwing it away and guilty for lying to everybody about giving it away.
Hey, well, no, your guilt's your problem. Guilt's your problem. All right. I will consumer surplus. There's this guy who built there was a transit center in Northern California. It's like impossible to build affordable housing in California, where it's like it costs like over $1 million, I think, to build it costs more than a luxury housing unit to build an affordable housing unit. This guy just built it off code, just on his own, like for like $45,000, built himself an apartment in a train station. So consumer surplus to that guy, showing that it can be done. It can be done. If you can bypass the various regulations and hoops that have to be jumped through, you can build cheap housing in California. So consumer surplus from that guy. Anything else? Consumer surplus, deadweight loss, Ariel, for this week? Just the buy nothing.
Just the buy nothing this week, I think.
Okay, well, let's go to Econ in the Wild. This is Econ from our personal life.
I guess I skipped ahead.
Skipped ahead. I don't know how to put this without sounding like making listeners hate me. Okay, but this is your brain on economics. Okay, so this is I guess a warning to the listeners. So it's Father's Day, right? It's Father's Day. What was it? Last Sunday, Father's Day.
Sunday, yeah.
My sweet wife and my son. What they get me is, so my car, I don't want to brag, but I have a 2016 Toyota Prius. And it had a crack on the windshield all the way through. The crack goes the entire way of the front windshield. Okay. I don't care. I don't care that there's a crack. It doesn't matter to me. I maybe there's some danger that it, whatever, shatters in, but I don't think so. It's been there for like a year. Does not literally, I don't even notice. Right. But my wife and my son, they decide for Father's Day, they're going to replace the windshield, right? So they go and they secretly replace the windshield. It costs like $500. To me, this is deadweight loss. To me, it's like now I'm out $500. How much would I pay for a new windshield? $1. Like I said, I doesn't even notice that I have this crack. I didn't even think about it in years that I had this crack. Like I said, I had it for a year. So we've just created deadweight loss. Father's Day has just created deadweight loss for me. I just lost $500. That's your brain on economics. I got something that I valued at $1 that cost me $500. So, so that's my Econ in the Wild. My terrible, no good Father's Day.
Well, my husband was like, "Oh, we don't need to celebrate Father's Day," so I did nothing for Father's Day. And then a day later, he's like, "Well, I didn't get any cards for Father's Day." It's like, I didn't think you wanted to celebrate Father's Day. So he got nothing. And apparently that was also the wrong answer for Father's Day.
I will say I got a great card. I got a fantastic card from my wife and son. And here's a tip. We talk about throwing away stuff. Here's what I realized you can do these days. So one of the best parts about modern life is how the iPhone will give you memories. Like it'll show you, like it'll just randomly be like, here's a memory. And you're like, oh, I remember when my son was whatever too, how cute. So, but the annoying thing about cards is you get the card, you read it, it's nice. And then you're like, wait, do I keep this card? Do I throw it out? Then you feel bad if you throw it out. What I realize is just take a picture of the card, take a picture of the message. And then, 3 years from now, your phone will be like, hey, remember Father's Day? You get to reread the message. What counts is the thought. So that's my life tip to listeners. Take pictures of cards, phone remind it, then you throw it away. Have the space in your house. By the way, back to my Father's Day story. How I'm being a bit facetious, but the consumer surplus is not the window. The consumer surplus is the joy that the wife and son, you see the joy, you see how much fun it was them just because they snuck around. They had to take my car and make up a story about why they needed my car, not some other car. Then they had to keep me inside the house because they thought I would notice that the windshield was fixed. Guess what? Didn't notice. They brought me outside. They're like, here's your present. I'm like, what? What's my present? I'm like, look at the car. And I'm like, what? It's my car. What's different? Don't you notice different? No, I don't know what's different. What's different? The windshield. What's different about the windshield? Doesn't have the crack. Oh, there was a crack in it. Anyways, so the joy is seeing them do the whole mission. That's the joy. That's the consumer surplus. The value of that priceless. The value of that more than the $500. All right. Anything else for this week, Ariel?
I have one more conundrum
Go
for
ahead.
you. And you kind of in the wild. So I do take a bunch of photos. And now I've maxed out my photo storage on iCloud and on Google Photos because I used to have a Pixel before I switched back to an iPhone. And normally every Christmas I load up all my photos on Shutterfly and then I leave, I clear them so I don't keep paying all these monthly charges. But right now I haven't wanted to take the time to resort them all. And then you don't get them as memories. So is it rational for me to just up my gigabyte limit with my storage, or should I migrate them all to one spot?
We just upgrade personally. I don't know how much it is, but the storage costs have been getting cheaper and cheaper, haven't they? So
yeah, it's really cheap. So I am like, oh, I should always do this next month, right? I just pay the extra couple dollars, and I'm like, oh, I'll do this next month. But at some point in time, I'm like, should I?
So you got to think. That's what I'm saying. This is where thinking like an economist will help you. Instead of thinking like I'm losing this money, you think, oh, this is time I've saved, surplus I've gained by getting the memories. So it's worth it. I don't know how much it is. Was it like $5, $10? How much is it?
It's like $5 instead of $2. Like I was on the $2 plan. Now I pay $5.
So $3 extra a month. So we're talking about $36 a year. I don't know. Seems worth it to me. So just sell something instead of doing the buy nothing. Sell one of your things for $36. you're even. There we go. All right. Fun episode of Econ Nerds. Thanks for listening. We'll be off for 2 weeks. We'll be traveling. Got to take a vacation. So another deadweight loss. I prefer to work than going on vacation. So, my wife taking me on a vacation. Deadweight loss.
Vacation is consumer surplus. Consumer
no, I just kidding.
surplus.
All right. So we'll see you. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. We're going to have a guest in 2 weeks. We're going to have our first guest, Ariel. So we'll see how that goes. But until 2 weeks, I don't know. What do we say at the end? Do we say anything? Oh, may your surplus be maximized and your deadweight loss be minimized.